The world of funk, soul, and rhythm lost yet another bright light over the weekend when news broke that Michael Sumler, affectionately known to fans and colleagues as Chicago Mike, had passed away in a tragic car accident in Georgia's Cobb County. He was 71. According to a report by Fox 5 Atlanta, the collision took place along Veterans Memorial Highway, a route traveled daily by countless commuters. Yet on that fateful day, it became the setting for an unthinkable loss. Details are still emerging, but the impact was immediate, both literally and emotionally, for those who knew him personally and for those who had come to love him through his work with the iconic group Kool and the Gang. Michael Sumler wasn't just a name in the credits or a background figure in the sprawling history of American music. He was a living, breathing part of a group that shaped generations. Kool and the Gang, with their rich blend of funk, R&B, soul, and jazz, didn't just make music, they created a soundtrack for countless lives. Whether it was the infectious celebration of Get Down on It, the romantic smoothness of Joanna, or the anthemic joy of Celebration, the group's sound has reverberated across dance floors, backyard cookouts, wedding receptions, and global stages for decades. And in that vibrant ecosystem of artistry and brotherhood, Michael Sumler stood out, not only for what he did, but for who he was. Known widely as Chicago Mike, Sumler was more than just a performer. His role within Kool and the Gang was as multifaceted as it was essential. While many fans first recognized him for his electric energy during live performances, often hyping up crowds with his magnetic presence, his contributions extended far beyond the stage. He was known to be the group's wardrobe valet from 2000 through 2015, and while that title might sound purely functional, those in the industry know that it carries weight. The wardrobe valet isn't just responsible for clothes. They're responsible for the image, the aura, and the consistent visual signature of a group whose every performance was a visual and sonic feast. Mike took that role seriously, ensuring that every detail, every button, every seam was flawless before the guys took the stage. In doing so, he helped shape not only how Kool and the Gang looked, but how they were remembered. But to define Sumler by job titles would be to underestimate the size of his spirit. Those who toured with him, worked alongside him, or even met him briefly, described him as someone with a boundless reservoir of energy, positivity, and warmth. He was the guy who turned backstage chaos into calm, who made newcomers feel like family, and who had an uncanny ability to light up a room with his smile or an impromptu dance move. It was that energy, unfiltered, unforced, and undeniably infectious, that earned him respect not just from band members but from fans across the country. Kool and the Gang took to Facebook to share their sorrow and celebrate his memory, crafting a heartfelt tribute that echoed the sentiments of so many who knew him. We're deeply saddened to hear about the passing of our longtime wardrobe valet, Mike Sumler. Mike worked alongside Kool and the Gang from 2000 to 2015, making sure the guys looked their best on stage every night. He also hyped the crowd with his energy and dance moves at the top of the show. Most recently, Mike helped Kool with Le Kool champagne events. Everyone here at Kool and the Gang has fond memories of Mike and will miss him. May he rest in peace. It's difficult to put into words the ripple effect that a person like Mike leaves behind. His impact wasn't measured in album sales or chart positions. It was measured in smiles, in hugs, in the countless people he inspired simply by being himself. As the news spread online, fans who had never even met him began to grieve. Their memories, though distant, were still personal. So sorry for your loss. He sure did keep you guys looking sharp. Love your work. Forever such talent is hard to come by. Carry on, one user wrote beneath the Facebook tribute. Another shared, such a shock. Mike was such a sweet man, so kind. All my deepest condolences to the Kool family and Mike's loved ones. These weren't empty condolences. They were testimonials to the kind of presence Mike carried. Even from a distance, people could feel him. That's rare. That's real. Even political figures took time to acknowledge the magnitude of this loss. Mableton's mayor, Michael Owens, released a statement that reflected both official condolence and personal emotion. "We are saddened by the death of musician Michael Sumler," he wrote. Chicago Mike contributed so much to the music and entertainment communities. His style and energy added flair and excitement to Kool and the Gang for decades. The city of Mableton, council members, and I join his family, friends, and fans in mourning his loss. But perhaps one of the most powerful tributes came from Adrian Meeks of SongSource Music Group, who offered a glimpse into the side of Mike that wasn't always in the spotlight. He always wanted to see other people succeed in the business that he'd been around most of all of his life. He was the bridge, for inspiring artists and songwriters and producers and musicians to the legends, Meeks said. In those few words, Meeks painted a picture of a man who wasn't just in the industry to elevate himself. He was there to lift others. Mike saw potential where others saw competition. He mentored, connected, and empowered those around him. He was the bridge, the rare kind of person who links dreams to opportunities, ambition to guidance. Sumler's passing also brings to light the quiet reality that Kool and the Gang, like all enduring musical acts, has experienced its share of losses in recent years. In 2023, drummer George Brown lost his battle with cancer. And in 2021, the band said goodbye to saxophonist Dennis Thomas, who died at the age of 70. These are not just individual tragedies. They are threads in the fabric of a band whose legacy has been built not only on music but on friendship, resilience, and shared journeys. Every loss is a reminder that behind the beats and melodies are real lives, real people, and real pain. Michael Sumler may not have been on the cover of albums or featured in front-page interviews, but his role in shaping the Kool and the Gang experience was undeniable. Think about the power of that. A man whose job was to ensure others looked good and felt good, whose joy came from amplifying the joy of others, and whose legacy is written not in solos or spotlight moments, but in the stories others tell about. How he made them feel. And now, as fans and family gather, both physically and emotionally, to honor his memory, one thing is certain: his spirit endures. It lives in the rhythms of the songs he helped bring to life. It lingers in the smiles of concert-goers who remember the guy who danced before the band came on. It breathes in the gratitude of young artists who got their first real break thanks to Chicago Mike. And it whispers in every moment of silence, reminding us that sometimes the brightest stars aren't the ones in the center of the stage. They're the ones making sure the whole show shines. In many ways, the story of Michael Sumler is the story of so many unsung heroes in the world of entertainment. The stylists, the crew members, the hype men, the coordinators, the fixers, the ones who make magic happen while remaining just out of the spotlight. But once in a while, one of those heroes stands out so brightly that even the spotlight can't help but follow. That was Mike. For those who knew him best, the grief is deep and personal. For fans, it's the sorrow of realizing that someone they perhaps didn't fully appreciate is now gone. And for everyone in between, it's a moment to reflect. Not just on the fragility of life, but on the quiet greatness of people like Michael Sumler. People who give everything, expect nothing, and leave behind a legacy of love, laughter, and light. As the days move forward and the tributes continue to pour in, we are reminded that while a car crash may have taken his life, nothing can ever erase his impact. His memory will live on in every note played, every fan cheered on, and every life he touched along the way. Chicago. Mike may be gone, but his energy, his kindness, and his spirit will forever be woven into the fabric of funk, into the brotherhood of Kool and the Gang, and into the hearts of all who had the privilege of knowing him. Rest in peace, Michael Sumler. The world was brighter with you in it.